Today I am doing 3 cards with 1 stamp set and 2 mediums. And I'm using this Waffle Flower Bouquet Builder stamp set and dies. So I did 3 cards. I'm using my watercolors, my M-gram watercolors, and I'm also using Copic markers. Okay, so if you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Dawn Marie. Welcome to my crafty corner. If you like what you see here, why not go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have your support. So without further ado, let us talk about the cards. I made 3 cards. I did 2 on the process on the video here, and one I'll show at the end. But I'm using my M-gram watercolors. Yes, I've become a collector of watercolors, so now I have palettes of all different kinds, but I love these M-grams. They stay nice and wet. They don't stay completely wet. They re-wet really easy, but they're a little tacky because they have honey in them. But anyway, I'm going to stamp my images out using this VersaFine Clear Nocturne ink on some Arches rough watercolor paper. I love the texture that rough gives. So I got in my zone listening to a book, and I just kind of started slapping it down, but I started with a nice pale peachy color. It doesn't end up that way, but that's what I started. And I just basically did an overall wash on all of my buds. So while some of them were drying, I went and did the other flowers. And then what I'll do is I'll go in with a little bit of quinacridone rust, which I think is it's watered out a little bit, and it also has some nickel azo yellow with it. So because I go in with it more concentrated after, but what I do is I'll go in and I'll glaze some yellow, Hansa yellow. Actually, I think I glazed it with nickel azo as well over top, and you'll see that it's coming up. Okay, so that was the beginning. Now I'm glazing over with the yellow, and it is the nickel azo yellow. So while I'm glazing it over, then I'll go in with my quinacridone rust full strength, and I'll just dab it at the base of the petals just to give it some shading and some variation, basically. And I'm doing that wet on wet. So the flower's yet wet from the yellow glazing, and then like I said, I'll dab in the quinacridone rust. Excuse my voice. I have a bad voice problem. I don't know what it is, but I lose my voice after a little bit, and this is my second try at this. My first try, my phone was ringing like crazy, so I had to, and that was like 3/4 of the way done, so I had to redo it. It was just ringing too much. It was going crazy. But you know, I don't know why people, when you don't answer the first time, why they keep calling. It's kind of a hint, you know, I'm busy. But anyway, I digress. So the problem with me is this: I never know when to stop. I do it with all of my mediums and different things. I go too far. Sometimes I'll over embellish, or I'll, you know, I just don't know when to stop. So they call this overworking when you're doing it in watercolor. And I'm never, you know, like, I have to stop myself. I'll just keep going and going. I mean, at some point it was pretty. It looked nice. I like the way it ended up, but could I have stopped a long time before this? Yes, because after a while I just started layering color on color on color, and it ended up being the same color anyway. You see the colors it is right now? It's pretty much going to be the color at the end, but I kept layering, glazing on colors, on the same colors, yellow and quinacridone rust, which is kind of like a deep orange. It's a rust color, basically. So I'll just show these blooms here. Okay, so there it is. I'm done. I have some Copic coloring coming up, so I didn't want to take the whole video up. It's 15 minutes as it is. So I'm making a card base, and I have to make a bigger card base because I don't want to cut my bouquet down. I like the bouquet as it is. And I don't have to cut it, you know, like sometimes you can put it off the side of your, you know, and all that, and that's nice, and it looks great on sometimes, but I really wanted to do the whole bouquet. So what I do is I use some foam tape to give it dimension, and I cock it a little to the left. My other card, you'll see I actually put it vertical from corner to corner, tilting towards the left, but you'll see that. And I'll take these extra buds and blooms that I did, and I'll add it to my cards. I don't think I use these blue ones here, but I do use another orange one, that one, yeah. So I'll add that to my to the bouquet and make it a little bigger. And I like the way this one came out. I liked it before I put the Nouveau Aqua Shimmer pen in it. You'll see that it kind of splooged on my on my flower, and it put out too much shimmer. So you know how if you put too much, I'm sure you've all been using these pens, right? We all have. You put too much and it kind of clouds your image a little bit, and that's what ends up happening. It looks nice, but you have to have it tilted upright in order for it to, you know, be clear. It looks a little too cloudy, you know. But it is what it is, you know, it came out all right. So here I'm using Thanks and Encouragement stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. And basically this is a one whole stamp that stamps a bunch of sentiments, and then there's a coordinating die that cuts them all out. So you end up with a whole bunch of sentiments all in one all in one whack. And I heat embossed them on black, and I also did them on white. Now I'm going in with some eggshell pearls from Lucy's Little Things, Lucy's Cards, and I'm putting the pearls on there for an embellishment. And that's that card, which I'll show you closer up at the end. Now I'm going into my next card, and I'm doing it with some Copics. And basically I'm just using a dark, a mid-tone, and a highlight. And then I'm going to go in and glaze over this as well with yellow. I just like the two-tone flowers. I was in a glazing kind of mood apparently. So I'm using, let's see, R59, R85, R83, and R81. Those are my go-to pinks. But I did end up putting, like I said, the R59, and it made it a little darker than I usually put it. So I'm going to do one whole flower because I was told by one of my buddies when I asked the question in my last video, should I include, how much in coloring should I include, should I do the whole image, and this person said do the whole image. So I do one image, and I speed it up because let's face it, it's 15 minutes long as it is, so it would be a lot longer if I left it at normal time. So I have it like 5 times fast. So as you see, it's not overly fast. It's fast enough, but not excessively fast. So you know what I do is go down, I start at the base of the petal with the dark, use my mid-tone, and of course as you see I go dark to light. I've tried to go light to dark, but you know what it is once you start a certain way, you have a hard time breaking yourself from it and going a different way. I've tried light to dark and it works pretty good, but I always just automatically start dark to light. So that's what I do. But anyway, I'm just putting the darks in the overlap of the flower that flops over a little bit. I put a little yellow on the inside but you don't see that anyway because I add some gel pen dots to the middle of the flowers. So now I'm glazing over with a Y13, and then I end up darkening it up a little bit with the pink again, and then I glaze over with the yellow again, and I end up liking the way they came out. And there it is. So there's one whole bloom. So I'm going to take this Distress paint from Ranger. I'm going to water it down a little bit. It's in black soot, and I'm going to do some splatters. I have all kinds of different things that I can splatter with, but I found that in my stash, and I was like, yeah, I'll use that for splatters. And I put some splatters on this card. And I believe this is the one I tilt. Yeah, see how them two-tone flowers came out? I think they look pretty. So I add some extra bits and pieces to this one. I add another bloom and then some smaller pieces. Yeah, this is the one I go corner to corner. Yeah. And I cut it down a little bit so it's not quite as big as the other one because it's going corner to corner, so it doesn't have to be quite as big. So like I said, I have the dimensions in the video, in the blog post, my corresponding blog post. I'll have the dimensions for all the cards. So I like to tilt it to the side much better. I mean, I tilted the other one, but I like it even more tilted to the side. The next card that I show you, which I don't do it on camera, I just show you at the end. I have it going straight up and down, and I really don't think I care for it that much, but you'll see. So now I'll add some extra flowers here off to the side a bit, and bulk up my bouquet, add a little purple to it. I like this color combination. I struggle so badly with color combinations. I don't know why, because there's no reason to struggle when you can go look up color combinations, which is what I did. Simon Says Stamp had put out these color coordinate inspiration inspiration sheets, and you could print them off, and that's what I did. I printed them off, so now I have a whole bunch of them, and I just looked through them to see what color combinations I wanted to go with, and I like the way that one came out. So I'll go ahead and I'll put pearls on this one as well. And that stamp sentiment is from Neat and Tangled, So Many Sentiments. I had a bunch of that little container I showed you in the last and a little ways before, filled with sentiments, and I just picked through it to find one that would go nicely here. So, and I do the insides of the cards, which I show you as well, but I show myself doing it. I think I show doing this card here, but I also show you at the end exactly what the cards come out looking like, front and insides. So I didn't put any Aqua Nouveau Aqua Shimmer pen on this one. I'm using my little mini mister with some perfect pearls in it, and I'm just gonna put a little spray there. There you go. I probably could have cut it stopped at like one, maybe two sprays. I oversprayed a little. I'm just indulgent on everything today. So now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do the inside. I don't know why I don't do the inside before I get it all assembled, It's just kind of like, oh yeah, I gotta do the inside at the end, But it's all good. At least I'm doing them. I made it a point to do all my insides of my cards this year. So I tried to match it up with whatever I put on the outside, match it up to go on the inside. I mean, as far as verse goes. And then I'll also add a couple of images in there just to. I used a stamp set from Pretty Pink Posh on the inside of my cards called Thoughtful Greetings. So I'll also have that listed in my supplies. Well, here's a closer look of all three of my cards and the insides. The supplies I used today will be listed in the description below, as well as on my blog. I'm also listing my Copic colors on my blog as well, so they'll be at the end of the blog post. So here's some close-up pictures. If you have any suggestions for future videos, I'm all ears. Leave me a comment with whatever it is you suggest, and I'll consider it, of course. Or if you like, you could just say hello. I hope you enjoyed today's project featuring this Waffle Flower stamp set called Bouquet Builder 3. And if you have, why not go ahead and give me a thumbs up? I'd appreciate your support. So I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I hope your weather's good. It's a Sunday. Of course, it's Monday when you're watching this, hopefully, as long as I got the video up. And yeah, I hope you're all having great days, great weekend. And I will see you soon, okay? Bye now.